time for a Christmas special. I have started and failed to build a gingerbread house in Parkitect at least like 8 times in the past 2 weeks. I really wanted to make a video where I did a gingerbread house to release for Christmas. And I tried and I tried and I tried and I was just never happy with it. So this time I decided instead of building a gingerbread house from scratch, I would build this little base and just treat it like I was decorating it. And then if it came out stupid, it wasn't so bad, because when I decorate a gingerbread house in real life, I usually get to about what you see right now on screen, and then I smash it and I just eat it by squeezing frosting onto it and eating it. I don't finish decorating it. I just eat the little pieces, and it's never as fun of an experience as it looks like it's going to be on the box. It just doesn't come out anywhere near as pretty, and that's kind of how all my gingerbread houses were coming out the past week and a half. So today I thought I would just try one more time, and I actually managed to make something that looks nice, so I'm pretty excited about it. And I wasn't going to do commentary, I was just going to do just Christmassy video game music in the background, but I want to comment on it because I like talking about all my little ideas here. Like so far you can see I've made little Hershey's Kisses, and I experimented with making them look like they were wrapped, but they look better as chocolate. And they've got the little flag on top that's supposed to be like the little wrapper that they come with. And I put some vines around the corner to make the frosting on the edges look sloppier. And then these awesome little roof dome pieces from one of the building sets on the workshop look just like little frosting dollops if you make them smaller. And unfortunately, as you can see here, you can't raise them any height you want with Construction Anarchy. They have to be at the standard heights. So I couldn't be as freeform with them as I wanted. I wanted to do the whole roof like this, just like scalloped little dots of frosting. But it's actually better that I couldn't, because I end up filling up the blank areas there with candies instead. So I've got the kind of fancy dollops on the top and the edges, and I just did normal ones on the sides to kind of look like pieces of roof. And I've got some pieces over here that I went through the whole catalog that I've got to try and decide what might look nice on this build. And there's this orb lamp in here, which is actually from the base game. And if you make the color a little dark, the color's not so extreme at nighttime. So I made it a little darker red and just filled in the gaps here. I struggle a lot here. I have to replace them a lot because I don't want them to clip too much, because they're supposed to be pieces of candy, and pieces of candy wouldn't do that. But so we're gonna deal with this for a little while. I really like Christmas. I love Christmas. I'm not as excited for it this year as I normally am. I'm pretty excited. I just got home from work. I had to work on Christmas Eve in the morning, which wasn't so bad. But I got to dress up, so I wore nice clothes, and I have a really long Santa hat that goes down to my knees, and I wore that, and everybody always likes seeing that. It's always fun. And I really like Christmas. I was kind of worried about it this year. I don't know if I've brought it up, not to get all personal or anything, but I had some friends that weren't very nice to me, and I kind of like kicked them out a little bit, I guess, of my life. And normally Christmas time I go to their party, and that's what I do for Christmas. That's like the big part of my Christmas. My family Christmas, and it's whatever. Christmas with my mom and dad, that's the best part, obviously. But I always look forward to Friendsmas, as I call it, and I was not going to have a Friendsmas this year, so I was a little worried I'd be super bummed about that, but it's fine. I saw some friends just yesterday, actually, from out of town. Were here, and we had fun. We played Smash Brothers, and we had delicious, amazing pizza that I ate way too much of, and I had the whole rest of it for breakfast and lunch today. That's all I've eaten is pizza. So that was fun. You see I've got the lights there finished, and I'm just gonna struggle with these gumdrops for a little bit. In the meantime, I guess we can talk about whatever. What do you want to talk about? You want to keep talking about what I was just talking about, or is that too real? Is that too much? Let's talk about Christmas. What do you want for Christmas? I didn't really ask for anything. I have an Amazon wish list, and I put stuff on there periodically throughout the year, but then it gets to like birthdays and Christmas, which my birthday is like almost 6 months from Christmas. So it gets to birthdays and Christmas, and I'm like, I don't know what I want. It's like all year it's like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, I would really like that. Oh, that's cool. I wish I had that. And then it gets to like a holiday and it's like, what do you want? It's like, oh, I never wanted anything in my whole life. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I wanted stuff. I just can't remember what it is. It's so frustrating. But I've got my wish list, so I don't really know what I'm gonna get. I feel like I'm gonna get a cool coat. And I'm hoping I get a weighted blanket. I really want a weighted blanket. I kind of want Pokemon Let's Go. Not really, but I kind of want it. I want it if somebody else pays for it, basically. Gumdrops, figured out. And hey, surprise, they're bushes. They're green gumdrops. Haha, they were red. Yeah, I tricked you the whole time. Let's see. I didn't really ask for much. I did Reddit Secret Santa, and that was fun. That was kind of stressful, though, because my Santa only viewed my information twice, and the first time and the second time were like almost 3 weeks apart. They almost missed the deadline, so I was like, are they gonna get me anything? Did they forget about me? Which is all about giving to other people, but even as we say that, we all know that everybody signs up because they want to get a present too. I signed up because I wanted a present too, and they did end up getting me presents, and I got this awesome giant Overwatch blanket and Overwatch socks and Rilakuma and Korilakuma pins that I put in my lunch bag, so that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I really like the Secret Santa. That's my favorite part of like Christmas parties and stuff. So I did that since I wasn't going to have a proper friend's Christmas party this year. That was a lot of fun. But I don't know what I'm going to get, so it's going to be a surprise. My parents really like Christmas. They go kind of all out. They usually buy too much. I usually buy too much. But I didn't spend so much this year. I kind of felt bad about it. But they don't care. They're like, it doesn't matter. We don't need anything. It's like, yeah, but I wanted to get some cool stuff. I've never really done this before where I do like a build and I'm not constantly talking about the build. I'm just talking about whatever. It's kind of weird. I don't know if you want to hear about this stuff. It's not really funny or interesting. So let's go back to the build for a minute. These spooky bushes look awesome in every park. I love them. I'm not so sure about the spooky pine trees, but they kind of look like frosting. So I wanted to make this big field of frosting trees out here. And then the regular spooky trees sort of look like giant globs of frosting, I guess, if you squint a little bit. And then I wanted to do landscaping, but it's really hard to do landscaping with a candy theme. The chocolate tree trunks and the frosting trees ended up looking pretty neat. And then I put these sakura trees down, and I was going to try and recolor them and be like, what could I make this look like? What could I change about these to make them look like a nice grassy environment outside here? Or almost like Easter grass, I was thinking. And then I realized, hey, wait a minute, cotton candy. So I surround the outside yard with just giant clumps of cotton candy. And it starts to come together a little bit. I think the cotton candy grass looks really cool with the white trees and the white bushes. I think that looks like a nice, I don't know, nice combo. It looks really delicious. It's making me hungry. I got some caramels. And then rock candy, duh. Except it's that crappy kind of rock candy. This is like the third time in 2 days I've talked about this crappy kind of rock candy to somebody. There's the good kind of rock candy that everyone in the world loves, which is just the sugary kind, and it looks like crystals, and you can chomp on it. And then there's the bad kind of rock candy that everybody in the world hates, that you buy from church bazaars from little old ladies, and it's made with like cinnamon oil, and it's not sweet, and it's super hard, and you can't really bite into it. That's what this rock candy is. It's those little rock candy shards instead of rock candy crystals. And I'm just like, get this out of my life. I don't like it. It's gross. But it looks nice in the yard of my my little Christmas gingerbread house here. Experimenting with flowers. It's like, I don't want to go overboard with landscaping, so I'm going to skip the flowers. I just kind of dig through. There's this really cool smoke piece that looks, it suits the look of the game. It's like low poly, but it's got to be centered on a tile. It doesn't let you free place it. Because I think some of these mods were made before the game had proper free placement and before Construction Anarchy, so they just don't work. I thought maybe I could put that clock on there and pretend it was like a watch face, but then that kind of makes the build... Ooh, excuse me. Ugh. Can I go through one video without like burping in the middle? It makes the build look really super small if I put a watch face on there. Which I had the same problem with, there's a toy set that's got like giant Lego blocks. You can't resize them. And if you could, that would be awesome. Because I wanted to put one down and it didn't work because it just made the build look super tiny in comparison. It instantly made it seem like it had a super small scale, which I'm not going for super small scale, even though those Hershey Kisses are kind of small, I guess, but whatever. Path covers. I love path covers. I never get to use them because I've only been playing scenarios. But if you tweak them and fiddle with them a little bit, you can almost completely hide things in the environment. I mean, that's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. I'm basically finished with the house now. I couldn't really think of what else to do besides like put candies on the front and whatever, but that would just... Most of the pieces that would work for that I can't really raise to a certain height, and I didn't want to freeform place them and everything like that, so whatever. So I just do this little path out front. What else can I talk about? The campaign screen has snow on it. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you're playing today, probably through Christmas or maybe a little after, the campaign screen has snow on it and it's snowing and there's like Christmassy music and that's super cute. I didn't expect that kind of thing from this game, but then the campaign screen is like super polished. I didn't expect the campaign screen to look like that at all. It's super high quality, so it makes sense that they would put in something cool like that. And I thought maybe I'll do the paths in chocolate. Maybe chocolate makes more sense than random blue, whatever that would even be. And chocolate does make more sense, because you can actually print patterns on chocolate really easily like that, just with like little stencils. You just heat them up a little bit and dab them on there or whatever. I don't know how they do it. It's magic. These like paint, almost chocolate spray paint. There's all sorts of crap you can do with chocolate. If you watch those like cake shows and those candy shows, they make stuff out of chocolate that it's like, why are you even bothering making it out of chocolate? It looks like it's made out of whatever. I kind of like when you make stuff out of candy and you can still tell that it's candy. I feel like once you get to the point where you can't tell that it's candy, it's still impressive because, you know, when you look at it, you don't know how they did it. But I don't know. I like when you can still tell that it's mostly candy. Or like those cakes they make where it's just a big, huge, giant piece of cake and then they cover it with fondant. And they spray paint the fondant and it just looks like it's made out of plastic. It's like, why wouldn't you... It's not visually interesting. It just looks like a sculpture at that point. It's like, I'm struggling real hard here, getting this fence out of here without having to replace this Kura tree. I like when you can tell that it's made out of candy and it's still kind of like janky looking. Because if it's too perfect, you know, you can't even tell what the medium is, and then the medium doesn't even matter anymore. Like if I had made this gingerbread house just look like a house, it's like, oh, that's fun, looks like a freaking house. It's not the point. It's supposed to look like a gingerbread house, which I think it does. I think it did actually a really good job of making it look like a gingerbread house. That's because I didn't overthink it like I normally do. What else should I talk about? I've been listening to my own videos a lot. Like I actually go through and listen to each of them after I upload them, and it's really weird hearing your voice that often. I'm like way more used to my voice than I've ever been in my life now, and it's still weird because when I'm speaking, I don't notice that I end a lot of sentences with like an upward inflection, and I don't notice that I sound like I'm asking questions all the time, and I don't notice that I have like a weird Michigan Canadian combo gay accent going on, whatever you want to call it. Look, there's one of those little cinnamon candies as the doorknob. Adorable. Yeah, I sound... I don't think I sound weird. I like my voice. I've had people actually say that they like listening to me talk, and they have the video open like in the background, and they'll look when I mention something interesting. That's probably for the Let's Plays, not the speed builds. I can't imagine anybody's watching the speed builds and only just listening, but people have said nice things. They like listening to me talk about stuff, which is really nice. And I really appreciate hearing things like that. People are being like super positive about this, and it's nice because I'm just kind of doing it for fun, and people appreciate it, which is cool. And hey, look, the gingerbread house is done, and I did not leave enough of a buffer at the end of the video to have like a proper send-off for it. Oh god, it's approaching the end right now. It's getting really close. Look, beautiful gingerbread house. Aw, it's so cute. You can download it on the workshop, and I'll also upload the blank gingerbread house so you can decorate your own gingerbread house. Won't that be cool? Look how cute it looks at night. God, it's so cute. Merry Christmas. Bye.